We're here. We made it again to another week of Full Moon Fridays here on the Outpost Unknown YouTube channel. My name is Matthew. Joining me from the great land of Sweden with kings and queens and princesses and whatnot, it's Borg.
Hello, all of that was accurate, yes.
Who's the king of Sweden right now?
Carl Gustav then the 16th, I think?
The 16th. I ask you because whatever you're saying is way more interesting and cool than what we're about to talk about.
Yeah, the 16th. I was right.
Okay, cool. Steve, you're here once again.
Yep, I'm noticing that you're not playing this movie behind you. Is that a deliberate choice, or did you just forget?
No, it's a deliberate choice. At this point, how many movies in?
A second.
No. At this point, 7 movies in here to this 14-part epic thing. I don't think Charles Band deserves to have his movie played in the background any longer. This is
okay. Well,
this movie.
Turn on a light, because you are coming to me from the shadow realm right now.
Okay. What if I get closer like that? This is the best I got, man. This is the best I got. This is the best I have. What do you want from me? Don't say light.
I mean,
Steve, what are we watching tonight?
I guess nothing then. We watched Blade: The Iron Cross, the first Puppet Master spin-off focusing on a single puppet, and it focused on on the best one. So
oh no, are there more spin-offs?
There is. There's one more spin-off.
There's.
Okay.
But
Dr.
it
Death,
takes place,
right?
Yeah, I think it takes place in modern times. So I think after this, unless they make a fucking another one, I think we're finally fucking done with the World War II era Puppet Master movies. I hope.
All right.
Oh, God. This one.
This is gonna be a short show, ladies and gentlemen, because this is not good. And to take us through the not goodness, Steve, I mean, tell us what happened in this movie.
Well, this is a direct sequel to the last one, Axis Termination. So I thought we were done with the Axis movies, but this is technically, I guess, Axis 4. It focuses on the dream psychic, who I think her name is Elisa. She is the main character of this movie. Everyone else involved in the previous movie is just gone. They're not in this. See, you were doing something, but you're in darkness, so I can't tell what was going on over there.
I will fix it in post, you asshole. Don't worry about it.
She is now working at a newspaper, and she uses her psychic dreams to locate dead bodies, and then she does reports on the bodies, and the bodies are linked to Nazis. Now, guys, stop me if you heard this one. The Nazis in this Puppet Master movie are trying to get... That's all I gotta say then. That's all I gotta say. This has the exact same plot as like the last 5 movies. The Nazis are trying to create zombies using the green reagent puppet juice. This particular evil scientist Nazi has gotten closer. He actually has zombies now, which are Matt's favorite. And as soon as I saw that first zombie, I was like, oh, Matt's gonna love this. But he has actually managed to create zombies. The downside now is that he basically has to like control them manually with a remote. So he needs puppet juice and the secrets of the Scroll of Osiris to create autonomous zombies that will apparently work for the Nazis. There's this movie's trying to be like a detective story, because there's like the Detective Joe, who's like, wearing a trench coat and a hat, and he's trying to be this old timey like pulp detective, but he is the love interest for Elisa. She's working at the newspaper, and she's having visions of Blade doing shit, and they name drop Dr. Hess, who is the Nazi doctor.
Not a name drop. Oh shit! A name drop.
This has continuity, guys. They mentioned Dr. Hess, who is the guy that becomes Blade back in Puppet Master 3. And so these scientists are trying to carry on Dr. Hess's work, and so now it's personal for Blade. And so she just goes and gets Blade, and just kind of like hangs out with Blade at her house for a little while.
Wait. Why is Jester not even in the goddamn trunk? They show all of the other puppets in the trunk. Tunneler's in there. Pinhead's in there. Everyone's in there except fucking Jester. What happened?
The
What
better
happened?
question, who cares? Jester
You
was not there
bastard.
as a deliberate choice. So like at the end of the last movie, like the puppets kind of like ran out of puppet juice, and so they've gone into hibernation. Blade is still like somehow just kind of alive. He can't really move that well, but he's capable of like turning his head and observing things. There's a completely
Creeping
point.
on the
Yeah,
girl.
there's a well this I think this girl is creeping on Blade because she just picks up Blade and puts him in a chair and then goes and takes like a bath out of, I guess there's not a bathtub in 1940s wherever the hell this is taking place at, but she's washing herself just out of a bowl of water with a rag. She's got the tits out, and she turns to Blade and he's like, oh ho ho, getting aroused, are you? Like she has this
It's weird.
very strange relationship with Blade. Um,
I was like, is Blade gonna fuck this girl? Like, I think I posted that in the Discord. I'm like watching. I'm like, is there gonna be a puppet human sex scene in this?
well,
It would have been more
thankfully, no.
imaginative than what we got.
So like, there's multiple things going on. Like Joe has an evil uh, police captain who's secretly a Nazi, and there's other evil cops that are observing, that are spying on Eliza because everyone knows that she has the puppets and that she's affiliated or she's fought the Nazis before. Um, she has this moment with Blade where she's like, "Oh, your blade and hook aren't all that sharp," and so she sharpens it, and then she tests it by running Blade's blade along her finger, which of course, she just sharpened it, so she's bleeding now, and she gets blood on Blade, and that.
I love. Hold on one second. One second. I'm watching Borp's reaction as you're describing this, and he has this look on his face. Is like, did I watch this movie? Is this the same movie that I watched? I'm just gonna nod in my head in agreement here.
Feel free to,
Borp.
yeah.
Yeah, what are
What
your
do you got
thoughts
so
on this,
far?
Borp?
Okay. I was waiting for a lull here because immediately I was hit with the disappointment that, oh no, this is a direct continuation of the last 3 movies we watched. I thought this was going to be like
So did I.
different,
That's exactly what I felt.
and it doesn't really make sense to make this a standalone Blade movie as like direct continuation. Like I thought they would do something different because it just doesn't make sense to me why the other puppets wouldn't be included. It's like they keep adding on bullshit to these movies and then taking away the things you want. So
Like
it's
Jester.
like, all right, we got zombies, we got psychics, we got spy movie, we got a detective movie. We ain't got no fucking puppets. It's it's so fucking baffling.
I love. We ain't got no fucking puppets. I would love for Charles Band to be pitching this movie. We got this. We got that. We ain't got no fucking puppets, but we got titties. It's so bad. That was great, Borp. That's great. That's a great analysis. Fuck this movie.
Yeah, well, so all right, so she gets blood on Blade, and that creates a mind link between the two. And so now
Oh.
whenever she sleeps, she
Is that
starts.
what happened?
Yes.
Okay.
She now, like, because she bleeds on him, and then it's like, oh, use my mental energy. So there's some sort of link between her and Blade now. And so now
Huh.
whenever she sleeps, she starts spasming, and like green fart clouds come off of her body, and Blade eats the green fart clouds, and now Blade is existing off of the fart. And so,
Wow.
tell me tell me how anything that I said is incorrect. You can't do it because everything I'm saying has happened.
Oh my god, I'm crying. I'm crying.
So Blade goes out on his Blade goes out on his first mission, and his first mission is to kill like one of the corrupt Nazi cops. And so Blade goes
God.
and kills this cop. All right, and so now that there is this ridiculous scene, and Matt pointed out in the chat, and I was going to also talk about it now. But Blade has got this cop on the ground. He's like knocked out, and Blade just takes his blade hand and just starts like sawing at his neck. Except Blade doesn't saw at his neck because clearly Blade's arm is completely detached from the body of Blade the puppet. Like there was a way to film this scene with the correct perspective to make it look like this arm is connected to Blade. They didn't do that. They got a full straight
Yeah,
on shot, and so the
yeah. It's
way
like blades here, and the arm,
yeah
the stabbing is coming. It's got like a little black cloth over it, so
yeah
that we
it's
won't notice. It's so
yeah, so like
awful.
the way this is set up is like the the bad guy's head is on the left, and then Blade puppet is on the right, and then in the center of the frame is dude's neck and a disconnected puppet arm that is clearly just someone's hand moving back and forth. But they didn't even bother to film it to where the hand was cut off, and so it's like Blade's like skinny arm and then a giant like fist sized hump on the back of it. So Blade's detached arm is being controlled by this fucking human hand sized tumor hanging off its goddamn elbow, I assume. This ugh, I hate this.
This is one of one of the problems, and I think as we've gotten deeper and deeper into this franchise, that we have seen as a glaring, obvious problem, is that the filmmakers do not give a shit. They don't care. They're this is completely low effort in terms of trying to come up with a new story. Why the fuck do we need a new story? We'll just throw like reanimate dead Nazi soldiers again. That we'll just do that over and over and over. There's no sort of originality with like the kills. They don't even attempt to increase the amount of puppets. I mean, we go to these movies to see puppets. We, but like Borb said, well, I got everything but fucking puppets. Well, maybe everything but puppets. And so, like, I look at this and it's so dead. It's so it makes me feel dead inside that the people at Full Moon shit this shit out. I mean, it's like, come on, at least put some effort forth. We made a short film called Orlok with a puppet. We put in more effort in 6 hours to create our little shitty short film as an homage to these films that we supposedly loved back in the day. And I look at this and I cannot believe, I cannot believe the quality control here.
Right, and I think the least you can do when making a film like this is like have cool kills or cool setups for kills. Like get the most if like if you're going to focus on one thing, focus on that. That's what people want. That's what if I'm coming to a movie about puppets killing people, I want like cool elaborate setups for how these puppets are going to kill people and make me, sort of turn off my brain in a way that goes like, well, clearly this wouldn't happen. Like, there's a point where a dude gets stabbed in the hand and he falls down, and that's how Blade gets him. And you're like, well, that like what?
Are you telling me you're not here for Blade creeping on a woman washing her
No,
breasts,
no,
or
no. You're here
you're not
for
here
the
for that?
woman creeping on Blade.
Okay, I think there's double creepage going on there. I
Double
think it was a
creepage.
mutual creepage, double creepage.
That death scene though was just like talk about a lack of effort. I also point
Yeah,
out that this movie, when you remove the movie's only 70 minutes with the credits. Without credits, it's 68 minutes. Blade doesn't do anything until the 28-minute mark. And
yeah.
before that, it's just Eliza hanging out and Nazis hanging out and Detective Joe hitting on Eliza. It's completely pointless. Uh,
Forget you get a few little flashbacks to previous movies.
oh
They
yeah,
they always have to throw that in there.
there was a scene from directly from Puppet Master 3 showing Guy Rolfe Toulon and whatever his wife's
They got
name
to put
is.
some quality in these movies.
Yeah.
Like, we might as well pull a scene from a good one and stick it in here to throw them a bone.
Yep, Charles Band, the stock footage king, is back at it in the opening shots of this movie. I mean, none of this matters. Ultimately, like Blade kills an evil cop, and then we get set up for the exciting finale where the evil Nazi scientist kidnaps Joe and Eliza, and Eliza is strapped to a table, strapped to a chair naked for no particular reason other than she didn't have a no nudity clause. Um, and so
They blur out her crotch. Did you notice that? So
I
there is
love
a
it.
scene. There's a scene early on where there's a woman seducing some other guy, like the bad woman, whoever's on the bad
Yeah, I
guys
don't
team.
know
I
her
don't even
name.
remember what her name is. Where she takes off her top or whatever, and you can tell she's got a no nudity clause initially because it's just shot from like neck up, right? So she's just removed her top, and the guy's all googly eyed over, but you don't see anything. But then there's a wider shot where it's the two of them, and she's kind of like embracing him, and he kind of spins her a little bit, and there's a big blur spot right where her boob accidentally got into frame, and so they're like, oh shit, she had a no nudity clause, we better blur that out. And then in the finale, Elisa or whatever, yeah, they just show the shot of her strapped to this chair completely naked. It's like, we'll blur out the crotch. It was right in the middle of the goddamn frame. What the fuck are these people doing?
So let's talk about the evil plan of the Nazis. It's they want to create zombies. That's the main thing. But they're talking about like it, we have to get the energy wave of these people correct. And there's suddenly a fucking death ray on top of this building they're in for no fucking reason. So they're going to send out an energy pulse from the death ray to kill everyone, and then they are going to send out another wave with the correct energy wave form to revive everyone as a zombie, but they got to get the correct energy wave, the correct frequency from Eliza, and so they torture her, and that lets that lets them see her frequency, and then they type her frequency into the super evil Nazi science machine, and when they do that, that gets that gives Eliza control of everything. So she starts concentrating really hard, and more green fart energy comes off, and Blade eats the fart energy, and that allows Blade to go kill everyone. So Blade kills everyone except for like the main evil Nazi scientist, and Nazi scientist like figures out that Blade and Eliza are connected somehow, and so he grabs Blade, and he's like super strong, so Blade can't really hurt him, and he puts Blade first in a furnace to burn Blade, which also then hurts Eliza. But ultimately, he just grabs a hammer and just pounds Blade into like literal dust. But then the green fart energy leaves the Blade dust and goes into the Nazi scientist, which I guess allows Blade to form a completely new body inside the Nazi scientist, and Blade burst out chest burster style, and I don't even remember what happens. Like that they beat the Nazis for like the seventh time. End of movie.
Yep.
Borp, your thoughts?
Uh, my thoughts are that I did enjoy this more than the last film.
Okay, what's
I
something?
feel I feel like um Charles Band not directing this one did some good. I feel like there were moments where I'm like, and this is not high praise, but I feel like they at least tried a little bit in some of these scenes. Like the last movie we watched was like so horribly made. And to the point where I'm like, I can't tell what's going on in these shots. With the abhorrent use of like really highly colored, saturated colored lighting and all that stuff. And with this one, I could at least see and hear what was going on at all times.
Yeah.
Uh, there were
There's some nice
moments,
camera movements. I
yeah,
mean, the guy moved the
exactly,
camera around and stuff
yeah.
like that.
It's not just static shots. It's not it didn't feel all the time like they were just going in and getting as much coverage as possible in the least amount of time. They actually fought about camera movements and things like that. So from that perspective, like at least there was some effort put into this. Um, but I did not enjoy this film at all. It has the exact same problems as the last three, and ultimately you come into these movies to watch puppets. You're watching this movie to watch Blade do things, and he doesn't show up until way late in the film, and the
halfway through
acting
the
is
film,
yeah,
essentially.
right. And yeah, that I'll shut up.
Yeah, no, that's the other interesting thing about, everyone wants to see the puppets. And when Blade finally does show up, he just shows up briefly, right? So it's not like you get an extended sequence of Blade doing anything. I mean, right now, Steve is showing more
Yeah,
Blade
here.
screen time than
Let
what's in this actual movie.
let me show you how you animate Blade. You cut his feet off and then you just slide him across the screen. See that?
There you go.
Charles Band owes me $5.
um, yeah, they do this another thing again here, where I think they put someone in a Blade suit and then like squished him down, and because there's those couple quick scenes of Blade like running, and it's clearly somebody in a costume, and they just squished it down in post to make it look like the person was tiny. But yeah, you just don't get the puppets. 89, 90% of this running time are these stupid characters we don't give a shit about. Why are we watching the exact same plot we have seen for the past 3 fucking movies? Why? Why can't anybody at Full Moon? Hey, Charles Band, if you're watching this, which I know you are, please reach out to me, outpostunknown@gmail.com. Say, Matthew, would you please write me a really good Puppet Master script? And I will do it. And I won't even charge you. Just reach out to me, outpostunknown@gmail.com, and I will write you a fucking killer Puppet Master script. These are stupid. So fucking stupid. I hated this. This is probably I think I hated it. Yes, Borp's correct. On a technical level, it's better than the last one. But on a creative level, I think it's even worse. So I think like I would rather it be creative and very sort of tediously shot than creatively bankrupt with some camera movements. For me personally, just give me some originality and some creativity. Fuck this movie. Steve, your thoughts?
No, I think this one's better than the last one, but at this point, I'm just so fucking done with the World War II puppet movies. Uh, I still think Axis Termination is the worst. I mean, I feel like there was slightly, not story wise, but with just like when Blade actually does go kill people, I thought there was slightly more effort put into this. Like the pup or Blade getting inside the dude's body and bursting out that could have been really cool. The idea is sound.
That's Tunneler. That's Tunneler's move. That's what
Eh,
Tunneler does. It's a Tunneler kill. That's what it was, but they just put it on Blade.
I
You know
mean,
I'm right. You can say it.
Tunneler didn't turn into like fart gas and get into the dude's body first.
No, but the concept of Tunneler tunnels through people. We've seen him do that before in multiple movies. This isn't just Blade coming out, tunneling out.
I don't know. Maybe this is equally as bad as the last one. I'm fucking over it.